Volatility, uncertainty, complexity. This is the work environment that is our reality. What will leaders need to know to be successful in the future? Who will they need to be to build team member commitment? How will they need to show up to create a motivating environment for their people? Welcome to the Sal Silvester on the Future of Leadership podcast, a dialogue about how leaders will need to adapt to be successful in a rapidly changing world. And now, please join your host and executive producer, Sal Silvester, to engage in the conversation about the future of leadership and how to transform people into confident leaders.
Hello, everyone. This is Sal Silvester, and I am excited to be back with you again for the start of season 7 of Sal Silvester on the Future of Leadership. I am Sal Silvester, your host and executive producer, and I wanted to give you a brief season 7 opener to tell you a bit about what we'll be covering in the season and over the coming months. So the theme for this season is about improving human performance at work. Athletes train for events using tried and tested methods to enhance their performance. Why wouldn't leaders and people in general at work do the same? And this topic for me has become increasingly important and relevant for me in my personal life. And maybe it's because, like you, we're all getting older. This year I turned 55. And while health and fitness has always been very important, it's always been a very important part of my life, optimizing my health and fitness has become even more important. I've got 2 young kids at home, 11 and 8. I'm 55 with 2 young kids. I also have the most incredible wife someone could ever have. And when I look around at them, I want to be here for a while, and I want to support them, and I want to be here to see them thrive. But I also want to do and be my best at work. I want to model what a healthy life looks like for my clients. I want to optimize my performance for my clients and for my team, physically, cognitively, mentally. And I also know that there's a lot of challenges for all of us that get in the way. As I've worked with executives and executive teams over the last 20 plus years, some of the top challenges that I see getting in the way of impacting their lives and their performance at work are a few things. Number one, the hustle culture. Ask anyone how they're doing, and it's most likely that you'll get a response of, I'm so busy. And it's like this badge of honor that people wear around. But I've met very few people who perform at their optimal level when they are always completely overwhelmed or when they're always running that sprint. So we're going to talk a bit about that this season. Number 2, time. I found that people are so busy that they don't make time to prioritize their own health, their own wellness, whether it's their fitness routine or their nutrition or just their personal well-being. And I see executives, especially in this constant sort of yo-yo state where they get fit because of the latest fad diet or trend, and then they lose that over time, or something else happens and they've got a little bit of time and they bounce back. But at some point later on, 6 months, 9 months down the road, they're back into sort of that sad old state. And then number 3 is just prioritization. Look, if everything is priority number 1, there are no priorities at all. So these are just a few common challenges that my team and I see facing the executives we coach, and things that are getting in the way of them optimizing their performance at work. So this season, we're hoping to add some value for you by exploring some of these challenges and more to help you think differently about how you can take care of yourself so that you can show up better at work and in your personal life. So we're going to cover a bunch of topics. We're going to start with a topic on change because there's so much change that's around us, and it's really an emotional journey. So how do we help ourselves and others through that process? But we're going to bring in experts on fitness and cognitive and mental health and sleep and nutrition and more so that you've got a few new tools in your toolbox to help you really optimize how you're performing at work. So hopefully this is going to be an interesting and relevant season for you, all in service of helping you perform better at work. As usual, all of these podcasts will be available wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and others. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening in and leave a review. That always helps. I'm grateful for that. So thank you in advance. And in the meantime, if you want to catch up on past episodes or download some useful tools, head out to our Future of Leadership podcast and blog page on our website at 512solutions.com. That's the numbers 512solutions.com. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for our first episode for season 7 coming out in just a few weeks. I'm Sal Silvester, and I'll see you soon on the Future of Leadership podcast. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Sal Silvester on the Future of Leadership podcast. You can get session notes on our website at 512solutions.com. That's the numbers 512solutions.com. Please follow and like the podcast on iTunes or wherever you're tuning in. And if you want to learn more about how we can help transform your people into confident and action-oriented leaders, please check out our website at 512solutions.com. I look forward to continuing the conversation about the future of leadership. I'm out.